Hello again, I'm Forbes adventurer columnist Jim Clash. Founded in 1904, the Explorers Club now boasts an exclusive membership of 3,200 adventurers from 60 countries. Sally Ride, Sylvia Earle, Chuck Yeager, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and John Glenn are just a few of the active members. The Honorary Chairman is Sir Edmund Hillary. Joining us now to discuss the club and its activities is outgoing President Richard Wiese. Richard, thanks a lot for being here. Really appreciate it.
Well, it's an honor, Jim.
Okay. Listen, this is a very exclusive club, the Explorers Club. Just listening to the names that have been in this club, or in this club anyway. Can you tell me what is the criteria for admission, and what is the mission of the club?
Well, the mission of the club back in 1904 was to promote exploration by all possible means. And the mission is very much similar today. In fact, people always say, what's left to explore? Mm-hmm. Well, I always say, what's left not to explore? I mean, virtually the entire ocean hasn't been explored. We're in the golden era of anthropology, paleontology, climatic studies, and with the advent of DNA, and with the internet, information is being exchanged faster than ever. That being said, most people think, oh, do I have to be the first one on Everest or the first one on the moon to become a member of the Explorers Club? And the answer is no. We're looking for people who are adding little bits or pieces to the puzzle in science.
Now, again, with all these dignitaries, these adventure dignitaries, you've met them as president of the Explorers Club for the last 4 years. Can you give us an amusing anecdote or an interesting anecdote about one or two of them?
I remember when I was a dinner chairman. I just joined the club, and I was in charge of the annual dinner, and Buzz Aldrin called me up for dinner tickets. And I hung up the phone and I thought, oh my God, that was Buzz Aldrin. I mean, when the history books have been written and we go centuries down the line, the names Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin will be remembered. I remember that same dinner, Walter Cronkite calling me up, and it sounded like a newscast, except he was using my name. So, things like that are always, a lot of pleasure. And certainly getting to meet people like Sir Edmund Hillary,
yes.
who, beyond his fame, is also just a great guy with a lot of humility about him. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned from him.
Yeah, he spent a lot of his life just building schools and hospitals in the Nepal Sherpa region, right?
Yeah, and in fact, here's a guy who clearly could have cashed in, totally on his name, but he took his fame and he really used it for, a very noble purpose, and that was to build schools in the region in which he'd become famous in the Himalayas.
Yeah, that's great. I know that, or once heard that the average age of the Explorers Club was 68. Now, this is the average age. And I know one of the things you wanted to do as president was to bring that age down a little. Have you been able to do it, bring younger people into the club?
Yeah, I had a very successful 4 years as president. And one of the things we did is we tried to dust it off a little and make it more relevant and exciting. And so we had so many younger people who really wanted to get involved in this. And I'm very proud to say in just a short period, the average age of an Explorers Club member went from 68 to, it's about 58, 59 now.
Wow, 10-year difference in 4 years.
Yeah,
that's amazing, Richard. That's great. And how about women to men, the ratio? Are there more women in? What is the ratio?
Well, this is the 25th anniversary of the first group of women being admitted into the Explorers Club, and currently 22% of the club is women. That's a relatively still small percentage if you think about, it's obviously 50% women, 50% men. And I'm sorry to say that still in the sciences, if you go to science classes, it's still dominated mostly by men. But again, it's slowly changing, and it's being reflected in the numbers at the Explorers Club.
You're just going out after 4 years. Daniel Bennett is coming in. What do you see as Bennett's major challenges going forward? Where do you think he's going to take the club?
The challenges for Dan are going to be similar to mine, is keeping it relevant. Why is something like the Explorers Club an organization that people should care about or want to join? And that will be Dan's challenges. But I'm very optimistic. He's a solid guy, character-wise, business-wise, and he's a good friend.
Good. And of course now you've got a little time on your hands. What's next for Richard Wiese? I know you're an adventurer,
right?
And I know you have your own television show. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing.
Well, I have a television show. It's primarily on ABC. It's called Exploration with Richard Wiese. It's on weekends.
Uh-huh.
So that takes about 80 or 90 days out of the year. I'm going to be working with the American Museum of Natural History. They have an educational travel program, which I'm helping to design as well. I'm working with a couple outdoor clothing companies to sort of make clothing that not only looks good, but it's functional. You know, pretty much every month I'm on a, quote, trip of a lifetime. In December, I was in Hawaii. January I was in Colorado. February I was in Kilimanjaro. March I was in the Northern Territory of Australia. In 2 weeks I'm going to the North Pole.
Whoa.
I know I'm going to Peru in June.
Wow, it sounds like a schedule of dreams. Again, Richard Wiese. I'm Forbes Adventurer columnist Jim Clash. For more adventures, check out my column in Forbes magazine or pick up a copy of my book, To the Limits. And thanks again for watching the Forbes.com video network.